Hello, welcome back to the Haunted Haven. Welcome to part 2 of our Kringle Candle release for part 1 of the Kringle Candle Halloween overall release. Classic black jar, returning favorites. That's what we are going over today. I already went over the 12 new candles that are happening. If you haven't seen that video, go on, check that one out, and then come back to this video and you can get caught up on the returning favorites. These are the ones that have been released in years past and they are making a comeback this year. And we're gonna go over all the scents. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Once again, I'll remind you, these are all launching on August 1st at midnight. The candles were releasing at 12:01 a.m. on August 1st, and there are all sorts of candle community antics going on around that. I went over that in detail in the first video, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go back to part 1 and I'll link it down below. And I also have the Haunted Haven discount code that is an affiliate code that will save you 15% on your whole order, all the candles that you order. And I thank you so much for using that. That is a super help in the Haven. I appreciate that a lot. So my friends, yes, we went over all the new candles. So let's go back over and dive into these returning favorites that we have. And we're gonna start with, I am so happy they're bringing this candle back. It has been years. The one that I have is actually the black wax that they did. I think this was 2021 when these black wax Kringles came out, but what we're looking at right now is Black Cat, and this is for anybody who loves incense smoky. Oh, I didn't even smell it, it's just wafting up. It's so good. Let me go get it. So the top is a spicy cinnamon, the mid is clove, and the base is cedar and frankincense. Now you would expect that to be more along the lines of a spice candle, and it's really so much more that I get really strong that frankincense. I get really a smoky thing out of this. It's so it's so meditative. It really reminds me a lot of if anyone has ever gone to Catholic Mass and they have those incenses that they do, particularly like special occasion Catholic Masses. Very reminiscent of that, a very smoky, just spiritually kind of inclined fragrance, incensey fragrance. The cedar and the frankincense do a lot of the heavy lifting in this candle on the bottom. You do get a little bit of the spices, but I would say, like, for example, I can barely smell the cinnamon in this. It is so heavily those incensey scents on the bottom. This is a dark, spooky, but delightful candle. This is a crowd pleaser in my opinion. It's going to be a very safe bet if you're like, I don't know, a lot of the ones in that first video sounded like really wacky, artistic jumps and artistic leaps, which is great, but it's not my thing. I would say Black Cat is a super safe, smoky, dark, moody, but elegant. Elegant is a very good word for this. Elegant, lovely, meditative, spiritual, that kind of thing. If you're somebody who enjoys to burn incense, if you enjoy sage, if you enjoy that kind of a scent profile, then Black Cat is definitely going to be up your alley. I am definitely ordering one because this one is, I use it very sparingly, partially because it's kind of a rare one with the black wax in there, but also because I didn't know when it was coming back. So I'm at least picking up at least one Black Cat, possibly 2, so that I can burn it to my heart's content. The next one that we've got coming up is actually candy corn. Now, candy corn is one that I don't have in my collection yet. I keep putting it off every year because I'm like, oh, I want the other one so much more. So I keep favoring other ones over candy corn. I do like what they've done with the label this year. I think the label is really fun. Other years it's just been like a flat candy corn, all like one dimension candy corn, and I like that they've kind of switched it up a little bit here. I will say that this is a pretty good candy corn scent. Buttercreamy, vanilla, sweet, very sweet scent, but the notes on this one are, the top is gonna be rich caramel and golden honey, the mid is sweet praline, nutmeg, and cinnamon, the base is creamy vanilla and toasted almond. So again, from people who are very loyal to this candle, people will say that this is a great candy corn scent, that they really kind of created this wonderful candy corn feeling and aroma with this one. I would say based on other people's, there's kind of a cult following for this candy corn, I would say, and people are very attached to it. So this tends to be a popular one. Haunted Hallows is next. That is one that was released last year. It is coming back, and this one has a top of wood smoke and fir, a mid of herbal and apple, and a base of patchouli and musk. This is going to be, I think that this belongs in the Witch's Cauldron family. We'll also go over Witch's Cauldron, but yes, this one is a very dark, kind of damp night air one. Now it's funny, on cold this time, I'm actually getting more apple than I thought I would. I didn't remember this being an apple forward scent, but it is, so that mid of the herbal and apple is actually coming through quite a bit. But the wood smoke and the fir certainly come out on the top as well. It's a very interesting blend in that way. It's not going to be... It's a little bit sour. It's like that fir and the apple together make it a little bit more sour and not just fog and smoke and stone, that kind of thing. Yeah, interesting. I don't remember this being an apple scent, but I'm getting much more apple. You know what? Also, I gave a detailed post burn of this one last year, so I will link my post burn of this in the comments below. Just don't have the time right now to burn this one. I'm in the midst of other 12 post burns that I'm trying to get you guys before August 1st, so that is my #1 priority for burning right now. But if you want a post burn of Haunted Hallows, I will leave a link. Suffice it to say, I like this candle a lot. I can see why they brought it back. Just the label itself is very atmospheric and moody, and I think that this was definitely a favorite last year. I'm sure that they sold out of it. People really enjoyed Haunted Hallows as well. Nevermore. Again, this is one that I smelled in the flagship as well, but Nevermore, the top is chai, spice, and honey. The mid is sandalwood and tea, and the base is cinnamon and floral. What I remember about Nevermore is that it is very true to a chai tea scent. For me, it had the cinnamon, it had the chai spices, it was the sweetness. I never picked this one up because it never spoke to me strictly of Halloween. I think that the label is gorgeous and everything in it is very nice and it's very beautiful. If you are somebody who would really delight in a spicy tea scent for the Halloween season, then I think that that is exactly what this scent is for. And definitely people do love this scent. I want to say that Wicked Dollboy, certainly Philly Candleman should have a copy of this, but yeah, other creators do have Nevermore. It was never at the top of my list for me, just strictly because a chai tea never spoke to me. But yeah, so for anybody out there who was like, ooh, a chai tea candle for Halloween sounds super intriguing, I want to try that, Nevermore would probably be very satisfactory for that. Poison Apple, another one that I do not have on me. Poison Apple is the top of apple and bergamot, the mid of apple blossom, lily of the valley, and jasmine, and a base of amber, vanilla, and wood. I can't remember smelling Poison Apple. Poison Apple might be like Black Cat, one of the ones where they've taken a couple of years off. They did redo the label on this one. I think the label is super cool. I wish that I had this one just to show you. I would wager that this is going to be a good apple scent. They did not bring back Dreadful Dolly this year, and that was the apple scent of last year, so I can see why they would take that one out and switch it up with a different apple. For sure, it makes sense. We will see if that makes it onto my purchase list. It would be nice to have it, and the label is really pretty cool this year. And I am somebody who definitely loves a good apple fall scent, so we shall see. All right, next we have Sleepy Hollow, which has been a fan favorite for years and years and years and years. I don't know if I've seen a year that they don't bring this one back. The top of pumpkin spice and incense, a mid of cedar wood and clove, and a base of caramel and citrus. And they did redo the label on Sleepy Hollow as well. So I really like this new label. This is going to be it's amazing. It's a fantastic pumpkin autumn Halloween candle. This has a sweetness to it that you really kind of don't expect. The caramel on the bottom, I would say, is what's doing that sweetness heavy lifting, because the pumpkin spice, incense, cedar wood, clove, and citrus really wouldn't lean too hard in that direction, but the caramel on the bottom of this does bring out a bit of gourmand into this. It brings it into more of a bakery area than otherwise would normally be the case. But the pumpkin and the spices in this really come through. It's a delightful Halloween scent. All I can say is you really can't kind of go wrong with this one. I would say that it's interesting to have Jack-o'-lantern, which is from the 12 new candles, in the same lineup. So I'm gonna have to think about which one out of those two would be my pumpkin spice pick. But what I will say about this one is it's been a fan favorite for years. The throw is phenomenal. My mom got one of these a year or two ago, and she was burning it in the kitchen downstairs of a 2-story house, and I could smell it all the way in my room upstairs strongly coming up the stairs. So it not only filled up a room, it would fill up a house. It was really such a strong, strong candle. This one, again, is very safe, very atmospheric, just an awesome, safe bet. And it's, I mean, I think for me, it goes more into a bakery scent than the straight up sweet scent. Like, but those spices also on the burn really come through. They really shine and they come through. I do have a post burn of this somewhere on the channel. I'll try and find it for you as well. But highly, highly recommend Sleepy Hollow. It's a fan favorite for a reason for sure. Witch's Cauldron. Again, I don't know if they're gonna have a year where they don't bring back Witch's Cauldron. Again, new label on this one this year. This is really spooky. It's got the actual witches hanging out in the background. And the usual one is just the Cauldron. They actually switched over the label again a couple of years ago because it used to just be like this witch. So they keep changing it up. At any rate, the top is cedar and clove. The mid is incense and the base is citrus. This is a wet stone scent, like that wet headstone, damp, moist stone feeling really coming through in this candle. It's smoky and you know, it brings to mind more so the Cauldron with this like mist coming out of it, more so than the concoction that's inside, if that makes sense. The combination of the citrus and the incense is really interesting on this one. Like I think that's what kind of cools down the incense, because the top notes are the cedar and clove. I don't get the clove super duper strong. And maybe I'm forgetting what the burn is like on this one, but for me, it leans so into this misty, damp area. Like imagine that the witch had just got done concocting her potion and she poured it all out and then she put some water in there and the cauldron is still hot. So it's kind of like the mixture of whatever was in the cauldron, but also the metal of the cauldron itself getting sprayed with water and the steam that comes up, the smell that steam would have. Like that's kind of really what I'm getting from this thing. It is always a very atmospheric candle. The atmosphere of this candle is always spooky and enjoyable. So I would say if you've got like, if you want a candle that is going to be off-putting and eerie, but not in the same intensity as some of these 12 new ones, but just slightly eerie, slightly atmospheric, slightly fog in the air, that kind of thing. Witch's Cauldron is such a good choice for that. Again, cult classic candle. People love this candle so much. That's why it comes back year after year. I can't imagine them not putting it in the lineup. Such a spooky, smoky fog, smoky steam, damp steam rising, smoky concoction. How many times can I say smoke? But it's really, you have to get Witch's Cauldron. This would be one of my top picks regardless. If you ask me what ones should I get and you don't have Witch's Cauldron, I would really say you gotta pick it up. It's an amazing, amazing blend, amazing candle. And the last one, which I'm definitely picking up this year because I don't have it, is called Wolf's Bane. So Wolf's Bane, the top is going to be floral, the mid is amber, and the base is powder. And again, they have a new label for this one as well. Wolf's Bane, again, I have smelled that when I've had it in my hands at the Kringle flagship store, and it is a baby powder scent. People really enjoy this one. It's one that has a lot of, again, mystique kind of fan favorite clout around it because it's a baby powder scent, which is so bizarre for a werewolf candle. But there you have it. People really, really love it. Top of floral, mid of amber, and base of powder. It's one of those Kringle candle tricks of the season where these scents don't really make sense in a Halloween candle, but for some reason it works. For some reason people love it, and I really had to hem and haw in the store about getting this one because I really wanted it, but again, there was just other options that were pulling more on me and I couldn't get everything. So yeah, Wolf's Bane is one that I have not picked up yet, but I think that this is the year that I need to go ahead and bite the bullet, the silver bullet, so to speak, because I don't know when it's coming back. And I would kind of suggest, if you are up for an adventure, if you're up for an experiment, and if you do like powdery scents, Wolf's Bane could be a really cool one. That is our returning 8 scents. I would say out of these ones, returnings, Black Cat, Sleepy Hollow, Witch's Cauldron. Those are the three that I would say you've got to get. If you don't have these ones, you've got to get them. Runners up, I think, are Wolf's Bane and Candy Corn. These ones for sure, for sure, for sure. Absolutely, Witch's Cauldron included in there. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Once again, my discount code is HAUNTEDHAVEN. That will save you 15%. And I am really excited to be back with the post burns for the new 12 releasing candles real soon. Thank you so much for being in the Haven. Let me know if you have any questions. I can try and answer those in the comments. And if you did like the video, please do give it a thumbs up. That really helps the video to spread. It helps me a lot on the channel. And I thank you so much for doing that. All right, thank you, my friends. It's good to see you again, and I'll spook you real soon. Bye.